And by the way, I am concerned that like Trump is a boy that like when he's in there with Kim Jong-un and they're getting along real well, that worries me.
Yeah.
It doesn't worry his supporters. They think it's great.
Right.
They think it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
That Kim Jong-un, a guy who tortured that poor kid Otto Warmbier, remember that guy? Otto Warmbier was this guy who supposedly he was on some school trip or whatever, and he like stole a flag as a joke in North Korea.
Oh, right. Yeah, I heard about those.
And then all these people on Twitter are like, well, that's white male privilege. You stupid white bitch. Like he's being tortured in a labor camp. And they're like, well, that's what you get. You're just going around white-splaining and white male privilege and mansplain. And it's like, where's your humanity? Now all of those people have rediscovered Otto because now they're all like, why is Trump sitting down with the guy who murdered Otto Warmbier?
Of course,
it's like, oh, but you didn't care
whatever
what was
works
happening.
for their
whatever
side.
works. But when I see Trump with that, I'm like, guys, this guy is a guy with authoritarian impulses. He is a kleptocrat. He's got his family in positions of power. I mean, fucking Ivanka and Jared. It's Uday and Qusay Hussein in there running around Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
She's running around Europe trying to get in like a coffee clutch with like Merkel and Theresa May. She's like, yeah, but here's what we think. They're like, who's this bitch?
Right.
Who's this bitch? Okay? So when I see this stuff going crazy in the streets, I'm like, we could slide very easy into fascism. Real fascism. You know? The boot. People in this country would learn to love the boot. They would love the boot on their neck. Because if this shit keeps happening, a guy like Trump is empowered by all of the stuff. Like when these people go and attack a journalist. Because Trump appeals to a few groups of people, but one of them, they're people that want to be kept safe, right? From immigrants, from criminals, from whoever.
Yeah.
So when Trump goes, hey, we're going to secure this country, but here's how we're going to do it. We're going to take the boot and step on your face. There's a lot of people in this country that'll sing God Bless America and they can cart everyone off to camp. They don't care.
Yeah.
There's people out there that don't care that the kids are in the concentration camp. I was talking to Ben the other night. I'm like, this can't be the best way. Put them in a Marriott. Do you know, I was in St. Louis. There's hotel after hotel. No one's staying in them. And the people that are won't notice. Put them there.
Right.
Put them in St. Louis. They'll leave. MS-13 will leave St. Louis.
Yeah.
I mean, there's got to be a better way. This is not a good way. It wasn't good when Obama did it. It's not good. This is a problem. But people don't seem to understand why a guy like Trump, when he came out, were you one of these people who were like, oh, he could never win? Or what did you think about him when he came out?
Yeah, that he could never win at the very beginning. Yeah.
You're an LA elitist.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That's mostly why, you know.
And you go out with a Muslim woman.
Yes, I do. I'm dating a Muslim woman.
So do that what you will, folks. But who's got a very white name.
I know, yeah.
She's got the whitest name.
Yeah, she's got like a World War II nurse name.
It's the craziest thing. I'm not going to say her name, but it's almost like Doris.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It's like, meet my Iranian friend Doris. It's like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Man, is she fucking assimilating, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Meet my Persian friend. What's her name? Mary Sue? What? But like, I could see very easily us just going right into fascism. And what's scary about that is that a lot of people in this country don't give a fuck. So I'm not one of these people that don't. I do think there's major concerns, but I don't think smacking up Andy Ngo or Nyo or however you say his name is the way to
I don't think beating up people that write like, BuzzFeed articles
it should be easy
stop.
to beat Trump. Yeah. You just need an adult. You just need an adult that goes, guys, The people that are really supporting Trump are like people that are live streaming from their basement
Right.
and talking about flat Earth.
Yeah.
And that the moon is a spaceship.
Mhm.
That's a huge contingent of his base. And you can't beat them? You've forgotten how to beat them? I mean, it's it's like a kid who's taken over the house at 9 years old.
Yeah.
Who's like, the parents don't know what to do.
Yeah.
They're like, what are we going to do? It's like, I don't know. Cut his Wi-Fi, lock him in the room. It's not these aren't great political thinkers.
Yeah.
There should be a way
Yeah.
to be, but it's not with these random acts of violence that then make people think, oh, Trump is like the savior. I was thinking about, like, I watched that documentary on Netflix, the Trump. Did you see the Trump documentary? And it's all about him in New York City in the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Yeah, the American Dream. I
Yeah,
think it's called.
fucking
it's really
great.
good. Yeah.
And it at the end of it, and it leaves off right, like the last line of it is, he's like, they're all laughing. They won't be laughing if I'm president.
Yeah.
And then it's boom.
Yeah.
But the last part of it is The Apprentice. And you realize how much reality television has deeply affected our entire culture.
Mm.
Because it was one of the first things that people instinctively knew was fake, but they didn't care. Like, they knew that it wasn't real,
Yeah.
that it was completely manufactured reality,
Yep.
but they enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And they emotionally invested in it as if it were real.
Right.
And it was wild.
The original fake news.
The original fake news.
And then he goes on to.
I mean, it was wild because people knew some shows were better at hiding it than others. Like the Raw competition shows, I think, had more elements of things that were actually real.
Right. Yeah.
But even there were things happening behind the scenes. But then you got to like these Real Housewives shows that are all essentially almost scripted.
Mm.
Like, these people are put in situations, the outcomes are somewhat predetermined. They want certain things to happen.
Right.
And people don't care. They still watch them.
Yeah.
They still just go, okay, you know?
Right.
Yeah. And so it was that. And then when you look at social media, those are the two biggest forces that have changed culture in my lifetime. Like, I haven't seen, I'm talking about just changing the way that people act,
Mm-hmm.
the way that they relate to each other,
Mm-hmm.
the way that they consume, like, process information. Reality TV is social media. He's the monster that combines both of those things.
Yeah.
And he becomes this unbeatable force.
Yeah, because he just doesn't play fair, which is like perfect.
Yeah. Well, it's not only that he doesn't play fair, but it's also like you can't beat him on his turf.